In this video, we're doing 5 blues drum beats. Coming up.
On the 7th hour, on the 7th day, on the 7th month, 7 doctors say he was born for good luck. That you see, $7 so don't everybody knows how to live.
Hi, my name is Kevin Zahner, and if this is your first time on Rhythm Notes, please subscribe so we can help you level up your drumming and home recording today. If you want more in-depth explanations and transcriptions for these grooves, go to rhythmnotes.net. I'll put a link to the article in the description below. Blues drumming is something that's very regional and individual. Let me explain. People might say that there's a Texas shuffle and a Chicago style shuffle, and there's a West Coast approach, and then there's a Mississippi Delta, and there is. This is all right. But when you really look at how someone like Greg Bissonette plays a Texas shuffle versus the way someone like Keith Carlberg plays a Texas shuffle, it's very individualized. And a lot of it comes down to the fact that drummers often learn this stuff from guitar players, from people in the bandstand. They say, hey, you want to play this blues gig? Don't worry about it. I'll teach you the styles, I'll teach you the ropes. Fill in for this guy, he's great. You should come out and check out this guy play on the next gig so that you can see how to prepare. That's usually how it's passed on. It's an oral tradition for the most part, so I need to just make that comment up front that there are many different ways to talk about this, and there are many different approaches to those styles. Just because one person accents a style a little bit differently or shuffles differently doesn't mean they're wrong, okay? So there are certain approaches that are more common than others, but for the most part, the labels, don't get hung up on it too much. For the purpose of this video, the Texas Shuffle is going to be very straightforward, so let's start with that one. The Texas Shuffle is going to be 4 on the floor on the kick drum. You're going to shuffle the snare drum and play an accent on beats 2 and 4 by playing a rim shot. So you're also going to shuffle the ride pattern and play downbeat accents. Some people will do 4 on the floor on the hi-hat. I usually do 2 and 4 on the hi-hat. And some people will change the accent patterns on the ride as well. Now, that's a really cool thing to do, and you should. Practice different accent patterns. Try putting the accents on every note. Try putting the accents just on the downbeats. Try putting on the upbeats. Keith Carlberg's approach to the Texas Shuffle has about 3 or 4 different levels of stroke dynamic. He kind of goes gagaka, 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 gagaka. He's a very dynamic player. That takes a lot of control, and I definitely recommend practicing things like that. let's get to the next groove, 6/8. A 6/8 groove is very common. It can be slow, it can be medium, or even can be a little bit faster sometimes. Let's hear an example. Now in the 6/8 groove, you definitely want to make sure that the tempo is solid. Sometimes it can get a little exciting during the guitar solos or during some of the big ensemble hits. Make sure that you don't get ahead of where the vocal line is most comfortable. So really, like on all these songs, really listen to the bass, the guitar, any sort of other rhythms like keys or piano or other rhythm guitar parts. Really listen to the vocalist and how she's delivering her parts, because those parts are the blues. The blues is not just guitars and bands and everything. It actually is all about a song form, a verse, a vocal lyric format where you say something, you say it again, you say something different, and then you have some sort of resolution to that phrase. So really make sure that your playing supports the vocals and supports what the blues is all about. I'm editing this video and I realize I did no intro or commentary for the Rumba. The Rumba comes from the ballroom Rumba from swing or big band, and it has a slap conga, kind of a castanet ride style pattern, and a samba kick drum pattern. So it's sort of a pseudo-Latin mixture, and it works great for blues. Check it out. Now the next example is a beat that I learned from a friend in Dallas. So I learned a lot of my approach to the blues from Dallas musicians, Dallas-Fort Worth musicians. And so what you're getting today comes from what I learned from them. And it's worked all over the country in many different groups. I just played a gig last night with a group here in Boston. And all the stuff that I've brought from Texas has worked. And I've learned new things from them. And that's the cool thing about these regional differences. You're going to learn different things and that'll add to your playing. The next groove is the money beat. It's simple. It's one of the most common drum beats. If you want more information on the money beat, I'll put a link in the description below and a video in the cards. Let's check it out. Now the last groove is one of my favorite. We call it the Diddley Beat. It's based on the ham bone. It's really based on clave. And if you want to read an article that goes in depth on the clave and a little bit on the history of the Diddley Beat, I'll put a link to an article in the description below. So the Diddley Beat is based on clave. It's based on, like, if you've heard the hand jive, it's cool to play this on the toms with different percussion instruments. In this example, we're doing mostly a kick, snare, and hi-hat groove, so let's check it out. So we've talked about shuffles, different rock beats, 6/8, slow blues, and even medium tempo, and the Diddley Beat. There's so much more we could go through, but that'll be for another video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and you want to watch more, check out this video suggested to you by YouTube. Also, check out this playlist down here that has different drum beats from rhythm notes and other grooves for drum set. Please subscribe so we can help you level up your drumming and home recording, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.